Good morning, students. In last class we have discussed about particle nature of the light and we have seen characteristics of the photon and properties of the photon. Today we will discuss about wave nature of the matter. In the universe there are mainly two fundamentals are present, that is energy and the matter. According to Einstein equation, E is equal to mc², where E is the energy and m is the mass. From this equation, we conclude that the energy is converted into mass and mass can be converted into energy. Both are interconvertible to each other. There is some connection is present in between the energy and the mass or energy and the matter. Here, therefore, there is some connection is always present in between energy and the matter. The radiation is also one type of the energy. This radiation is showing mainly two nature or two behavior. The radiation may be sometimes acts like the wave from the phenomena like interference and diffraction. Like that, we conclude that the radiation is act like the wave. From the phenomena like photoelectric effect, we conclude that the radiation or the light is acts like the particle. Now, what are the two different nature of the radiation? Sometimes it acts like the wave, sometimes it acts like the particle. These are the two different nature of the radiation. Here we know that there is always some connection is present in between energy and the matter. Now, whatever the nature of the radiation, whatever the nature of the energy, that must be the nature of the matter. Therefore, from this conclusion is given by the scientist called de Broglie. The de Broglie conclude that the radiation is showing two behavior, wave and the particle. Then the matter must be showing two behavior. Therefore, the matter must be acts like the particle and the matter must be acts like the wave. This is tell by the de Broglie. Therefore, this is known as the de Broglie hypothesis. Now, what is the de Broglie hypothesis? Like radiation, matter also has dual nature. Now, what are the dual nature? Sometimes it acts like the wave, sometimes it acts like the particle. Therefore, our moving matter must be producing the wave. The wave produced by the moving particle is called as what? Matter wave. Sometimes it is also called as de Broglie wave. This is one more important question. What are matter waves? These are the waves associated with the moving particle. Whenever the particle is moving, it is producing the one wave, that is known as matter wave. Sometimes it is also called as de Broglie waves. Now, the explanation given by the de Broglie, he is telling that the moving particle is producing the one wave, that is known as de Broglie wave or matter wave. Now, the expression for the de Broglie wavelength, the matter which is moving, that producing the wave, that expression is given by lambda is equal to h by mv, that is equal to h by p, where lambda is the wavelength of the radiation produced by the moving particle and h is called constant, called Planck's constant. Its value is equal to 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second, and m be the mass of the particle which is moving, v be the velocity of the particle which is moving with velocity v, and p be the momentum of the moving particle. This is the expression for the de Broglie wavelength or matter waves. If you look at the expression for de Broglie wavelength, here h is constant, then the de Broglie wavelength depends upon mass of the moving body and the velocity of the body and the momentum of the moving body. here if you look at this, the de Broglie wavelength is inversely proportional to mass of the moving particle. If the mass of the moving particle is more, then de Broglie wavelength is less. Therefore, for microparticles like electrons and protons, their mass is very small, therefore we are getting more de Broglie wavelength. The magnitude of the de Broglie wavelength is more. If you consider the macroparticles like stone, bus, ball, etc., then their mass is high, therefore de Broglie wavelength is less. And the de Broglie wavelength is inversely proportional to velocity. If the particle is moving very fast, then the de Broglie wavelength will be less. And it is inversely proportional to momentum. This is the conclusion for the de Broglie wavelength. We will see different types on which the de Broglie wavelength is based. Now we have to calculate de Broglie wavelength in terms of kinetic energy. In some case, while solving the problem, they does not give the value of mass and they does not give the value of velocity and the momentum. They give kinetic energy. Then we must calculate the wavelength for the de Broglie. We have to calculate de Broglie wavelength. Then how you convert de Broglie wavelength in terms of kinetic energy. Now lambda is equal to h by mv. This is the de Broglie wavelength when mass is given and the velocity is given. Now what is the expression for kinetic energy? You take kinetic energy as Ek. Ek means kinetic energy. That is equal to half mv square. Kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. Now by cross multiplying, this equation become mv square is equal to 2 Et. For this equation, you multiply by m on both sides. Then it become m into mv square. Then m into 2 into Et. Now m into m become m square v square is equal to 2 m Et. M square v square. You apply square root, then it become what? M into v. M into v is equal to, by applying the square root, it become 2 m. You take this as equation number 2. Then you put value of mv is equal to under square root 2m ek. This value to from equation 2 to equation number 1. Then equation number 2 in equation number 1. Then it become lambda is equal to h. Now what is mv? 2m ek under square root of 2m. This is the expression for the de Broglie wavelength in terms of kinetic energy. When kinetic energy is given, we must apply this formula. Lambda is equal to h divided by under square root of 2m ek, where ek is the kinetic energy of the moving particle. This is about de Broglie wavelength in terms of kinetic energy. The de Broglie conclude that the de Broglie wavelength or the matter waves is absorbed in the matter as well as the charged particle. If the charged particle is also moving, it is also producing the de Broglie wavelength. Then the de Broglie wavelength for the charged particle given by, then how we calculate de Broglie wavelength in terms of charged particle? For the charged particle when it is accelerated by the potential V. We know that the kinetic energy gained by the charged particle is equal to potential energy applied to the charged particle. For example, if you consider this is charge Q and this charge Q is accelerated by the potential V. Initially the charge is at rest. When you keep on increasing the potential, its velocity keep on increasing therefore its kinetic energy is also increasing. The amount of kinetic energy gained by the charged particle is depending upon potential energy you are applying or potential energy gained by the charged particle. Now what is the potential energy gained by the charged particle? That is equal to Q into V. You take this as equation number 3 and you take this as equation number 4. This is equation number 3 and this is equation number 4. Now you put value of equation number 4, that is kinetic energy is equal to QV in equation number 3. Then it become lambda is equal to H divided by under square root of 2m. What is kinetic energy? QV. Therefore kinetic energy is replaced by potential energy Q. This is the expression for the de Broglie wavelength for the charged particle, where Q is charge and V is potential. How much voltage you are applying. This is the expression for the de Broglie wavelength for the charged particle. If the charged particle is electron, if the charged particle is electron, then what is the value of Q? That is equal to Q is equal to E. That equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. What is H? H is equal to Planck's constant, that is equal to 6.634 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. What is M? Mass of the electron, that is equal to 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. If you substitute all these values in this equation, then the de Broglie wavelength for the electron, which is accelerated by the potential or the voltage V, is given by directly. If I substitute all these values in this equation, then it becomes 12.27 divided by root V in terms of angstrom. We are getting wavelength value in terms of angstrom, that is 10 to the power minus 10. Therefore, this is a video lecture which give information about the matter waves or